Hello and welcome to another edition of Currently in Quincy. I'm Joe Catalano. Today we focus on the new Quincy Animal Care Center that just opened up this past Saturday on Quarry Street. We have Sandra Sines, the president of the Quincy Animal Shelter, and Brett Hale is joining us. She's the manager of the new Animal Care Center and 2 puppies. Stay tuned for that. First, though, we take a look at the weather and the news for you. Currently in Quincy, it's beautiful. We have brilliant sunshine at 66 degrees right now. Gorgeous day today, lots of sunshine, breezy, and temperatures will climb into the low 70s this afternoon. Not as cold tonight as it was last night. Under clear skies, lows drop off into the mid-50s. Pretty nice stretch of weather this week, really. Tomorrow will be pleasant again with sun and clouds, a little cooler, with temperatures tomorrow in the lower 60s. A lot of clouds around on Wednesday. The showers will hold off till late Wednesday night, probably after midnight. High Wednesday 70, lows in the mid-50s, and then some morning showers here on Thursday. Some afternoon clouds, highs Thursday into the mid-60s. Again, we have sunshine, 66 in Quincy right now. Checking out the news for you today, the Quincy City Council will begin reviewing next year's proposed city budget tonight. A public hearing will be held at 6:30 at City Hall, followed by a Finance Committee meeting where councilors will begin examining the proposed $456 million spending plan. At last week's City Council meeting, Mayor Thomas Koch said that the budget is up by $36 million. $20 million of that's going to pay the debt on the $475 million pension bond that the City Council approved back in 2021.
The timing was absolutely perfect because we got a rate of 2.62%. That was pretty much at the lowest they were historically and certainly recent memory. For the public also, they should know that employees contribute to their retirement. 9% comes right out of their check, and over $35,000, another 2% comes out of their check. So employees are paying a share of their retirement.
Budget also includes funding for 20 firefighters, 4 patrol officers, a new scam and fraud prevention liaison, and a $4.2 million increase in the school department. The City Council will hold another budget review meeting tomorrow night at 6:30 at City Hall. A new public art commission would be established under a proposal from Quincy Mayor Thomas Koch, Ward 2 Councilor Richard Ashe, and at-large Councilor Scott Campbell. That commission would be part of a new public art and place-making program that would be responsible for the commissioning and purchasing of permanent and temporary public art. The mayor says the proposal is partly in response to the controversy surrounding the plans to install statues of Saints Michael and Florian at the entrance to the new police station.
Trick is we got to make sure that we word this and really put it together in the ordinances that it doesn't conflict with other things. For example, the school department has control over school land. The Park and Recreation Board has control over parkland. The Cemetery Board of Managers has control over the cemetery land. So we got to figure out how we interact with those departments in such a example. If we're doing a new public memorial, it's going to land on one of those pieces of property. So we got some work to do on it, but I think that it has some merit, and look forward to figuring it out.
The commission would consist of 5 members nominated by the mayor, city council, planning director, commissioner of public buildings, and president of the Quincy Art Association. The mayor would also nominate 1 non-voting student. The commission would hold at least 4 public meetings per year and make recommendations on public art that would cost $50,000 or more. The plan is currently in the City Council Ordinance Committee. Quincy residents can find out if the recent changes to the city's flood maps affect their property tomorrow. The city will be holding open houses tomorrow at 4 and 7 p.m. in the lower level of Old City Hall to display the new maps. City Council President Ian Kane says that officials worked with the Federal Emergency Management Agency to make sure the flood maps are accurate.
Been working diligently to continue to ameliorate people's issues with the floodplain that have been caused over the last decade. This is more of the quiet work that goes very much understated, that is being done on a constant basis. And this is truly impactful for people's lives, because, that's another, in some cases, mortgage payment that people are picking up by way of flood insurance. So, this is great work.
Most of the changes occurred around brooks, rivers, and streams. Officials say there were no changes to the coastal flood zones. Well, construction is underway on 2 large new developments in Quincy Center. Recently, Mayor Thomas Koch toured the former Parking Way area, now called McConville Way and Dunford Drive, to highlight the construction of a new housing development on one side of the General's Bridge and a new medical complex on the other.
What's happening here on either side of the bridge. On the north side of the bridge, we're now in the ground for the garage and soon to be the building, which will be Beth Israel, will be a medical facility there with doctor's offices, medical services, urgent care, services that we may not have fully today in Quincy that will be brought here to this site. So we're excited about that. Beth Israel's a big name for hospitals in the region, and we're delighted they're part of it. So now we're on the other side of the bridge, which is looking south of the bridge, and on this side is a development that is being overseen by Atlantic Development, DJ McKinnon, and Hanover Development. They've come together to put together a beautiful setup here, which will include about 850 car parking garage that the city will own. There'll be about 300 units of new housing, which is needed in this region. I keep saying that. I know people question me, how many apartments and condos are we going to build? There's a shortage of over 200,000 housing units in the Boston region, so we're certainly doing our part so we can keep our Quincy kids living here in our city. In addition, there'll be retail space here, including a specialty grocery store. I can't officially say what the name is, but I think we've heard a lot about that one, as well as some other retail uses here.
2 new parking garages are also included as part of those developments, which the mayor says will activate that portion of Quincy Center. Quirk Auto Dealerships of Quincy has donated $25,000 to the Quincy College Foundation. Quirk President Dan Quirk recently presented a check to Quincy College President Rick DeCristofaro, Quincy College Foundation Chairman Paul Barbadoro, and Kara Bobrov, who's the Director of Institutional Advancement for the college. That donation will fund multiple Dan Quirk scholarships, and a portion of the gift will be earmarked for the foundation's General Scholarship Fund. The foundation was established last year to provide scholarships to students who show academic promise but are faced with financial challenges. It's our check of news today. Coming up, the new Quincy Animal Care Center is now open. Quincy Animal Shelter President Sandra Sines, the Animal Care Center Manager Brett Hale, and 2 four-legged residents will be joining us next. Welcome back. Well, from here on out, the show is completely out of my hands because puppies. Puppies here in the studio from the new Quincy Animal Care Center. As I mentioned, just opened up on Quarry Street this past Saturday. So the shelter president, Sandra Sines, is back with us. And new to the program, Brett Hale, the manager of the new Animal Care Center. So ladies, welcome to both of you.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Sandra, I'll start with you because you must be just over the moon thrilled that the center's finally open.
It's been one of the happiest couple of weeks, in the last 26 years. The grand opening was so fantastic. The community came out to support us. We were busy every minute on Saturday, and it was a wonderful day. The ribbon cutting ceremony was supposed to be on Wednesday, but it got moved to Saturday. But both events were just, it's just wonderful. And everyone's comments were so positive about the building because it really is a showplace.
It certainly is. Yeah, I had a chance to see it last week, last Wednesday, before the private ceremony was held. It is stunning.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
And I met one of the volunteers actually who was thrilled beyond belief that he had that new center to work in now.
Yes.
So it's really going to change the entire face of animal care in Quincy, really.
It is.
Yeah.
100%. Just the fact that we have better, larger, cleaner facilities. We have the ability to double our cat population. Our dog population will stay about the same, but there are so many enhancements to the dog area, like indoor, outdoor kennels,
Yes.
beautiful grass play areas. There's so much for them. And for the dogs, we have isolation and quarantine facilities and a separate intake section, which we never had at Broad Street or East Squantum Street. So the dogs will be able to be healthier and hopefully adopted out much sooner.
Yeah, and really one of the biggest changes that this will allow is for expanded adoption hours, right?
Yes.
I mean, it's a much more regular schedule now.
Yes, yes. Since COVID, we've only been open 4 hours a week, which is just not enough. So now we are going to be open Tuesday through Saturday from 11 to 4. So we're so excited because that's 5 days
That's amazing,
that the
yeah.
public can come in and look at the animals,
Yep.
and we hope that that's going to get them adopted out a whole lot sooner.
Yes, including these two
Yep.
little ones.
Yeah,
that
these
you
two will
brought.
literally fly off the shelves.
I am sure. Probably people waiting outside
Oh,
the front
yeah.
door here when you leave.
Yes.
Another big change, of course, is that the building is now a city building, right?
Right.
It's not just the shelter; it's also the Quincy Animal Control Office and the Quincy Police Canine Unit.
Right.
So really, it needs a full-time manager of the overall building, which was where Brett comes in.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep, that's
So,
me.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, Brett.
So I graduated from Boston College, and then after I graduated, I went to the New England Wildlife Centers.
Oh, sure.
And I worked in the education department there, so I did a lot of work with the animals and with people. And then about 4 or 5 months ago, I came here, and so it's wonderful because it's the same thing. I'm working with animals and people in this new building.
Yes.
So I'm really excited to be here.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's wonderful. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Did you
thank
study animal care in school?
I didn't. I studied communications and women and gender studies, so a little
Oh.
bit different, but more the human end, which I'll be
Yep.
working on in this role.
When
so
you're
it's
managing a
perfect.
building, a
Yes.
$28 million facility, right? It's almost
Yep.
14,000 square feet. It's dealing with
Yes.
people and pets.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right, now the stars of the show. Let's not bury the lead anymore. Who have you brought with you today?
This is Delilah
Okay.
and Maisie.
Yep.
And we got these puppies yesterday.
Oh, you did?
And we think they're about 8 to 9 weeks old.
Okay.
And we were told that they are Jack Russell Husky mixes.
Okay.
I have no idea if that's accurate.
All right,
But they're 100% adorable. So
Oh, the cuteness
You know,
factor is like
yep.
off the charts.
Yeah.
Here. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
They're sisters?
yes.
The same litter? Yeah.
Yep.
And that one likes to chew, I
Yep.
see. Yeah. So say goodbye to your watch,
Total
Sandra.
puppy. Total
That
puppy.
is totally gone, yeah. So somebody surrendered them? Is that what happened?
Yeah, yeah. Someone was surrendering a whole litter of puppies. So these were the last 2 left.
Oh, I see.
So,
okay. And
yeah.
do you have an idea about how old they are?
maybe 8 to 9 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I
are
mean,
they-
they're eating on their own.
Yeah.
They are not potty trained at all. I mean, that's
They're-
something that's
they're
going to have
puppies,
to
right?
happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're total puppy.
Okay. And are they adoptable right now?
Not yet.
Not yet,
Yesterday we gave them their initial vaccines and dewormed them.
Yeah.
But probably within the next week they will see a veterinarian, get a full exam, and then if they're healthy, which I'm pretty certain they are, they will be available for adoption. And when they do get adopted, we pay for the spay and neuter because they're too young to be spayed and neutered spayed. They're both girls.
Right.
Spayed
okay,
right
yeah,
now.
Yeah. So if you just turn just a little bit, Sandra, there we go. I just want to get that face on the screen. Because that's the picture
Yeah.
that'll sell it for sure. You mentioned the veterinary services.
Yes.
There's the new shelter, the new center, animal care center, has a veterinary suite,
Yes.
surgical suite, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is probably my favorite part of the shelter.
Really?
Because it's going to save us a lot of money, but also a lot of time.
Yeah.
Because right now it's very hard to get appointments with vets for spay, neuter, and all of that.
Yeah.
Easier for cats, very difficult for dogs,
Really?
and incredibly expensive. So we will be able, the surgical suite is amazing.
Yeah.
We will be able to have veterinarians come in and perform pretty much any surgery that they are comfortable with, but mostly low-cost spay, neuter, dentals, like hernia repair, minor surgeries, all of that. So that's going to be incredibly helpful, and it'll put the animals up for adoption a whole lot sooner.
Much quicker, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And save costs at the same time.
Yeah.
I would think the vets too would appreciate having that
Yeah.
facility, right?
Yeah.
Instead of having to schedule time in their own
Right.
in their own
And everything
practice.
we need is there.
Right.
So it really is beautiful. It's state of the art. So I think that's going to be an amazing addition to what we're able to offer. Now, it's not going to be available for the public.
Okay.
But we will be able to help out other shelters. Like, for example, we could run a what they call a trap neuter release day for feral cats.
Oh, all right.
Or
Okay.
we could help a small shelter that doesn't have access to a veterinarian.
Yeah.
So as long as they're not owned.
Okay. So, I mean, this really is going to be the premier
Yeah.
animal care center on
Yes.
the South Shore.
Yes.
Really,
Definitely.
Yes.
On par with the New England Wildlife Center
Yep.
in some regard, right, Brett?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So, now, do these two need to be adopted together? Are you going to try and keep them
No.
together?
No. We usually do not adopt puppies together. It's funny, with kittens,
Yeah.
that's recommended to
Yeah.
adopt kittens together, but with puppies, some puppies can have sibling syndrome and they become too attached.
Oh.
So it's, I'm not saying we'd never do it, but
Yeah.
it's not as recommended as it is with kittens.
Okay, interesting. All right. So, Brett, is this a new experience for you now? Dealing with kind of this three-fer at the Animal Care Center, the shelter, the animal control, and the canine unit?
It is
Yeah.
definitely new for me, but I'm very excited. Everyone's been great, so we'll be working with the 3 entities in the building
Yeah.
to work on programming, public outreach, which will be awesome. So it is new for me, but it's going great so far.
Yeah, I saw there is a community room, right,
Yes.
within the new center. So what will that be utilized for?
We have a few different ideas going for what the community room will be used for. We're thinking we'll do some dog training classes, both through the city, and the shelter will hold some as well. We're thinking cat enrichment stuff. We want to do some clinics, whether it's vaccines or microchips for Quincy residents
Great.
and people around,
Yeah.
so they can access low-cost vaccines. So there's a lot of stuff, a lot of ideas being had right now,
Right.
so we're excited to get them going.
Yeah, the future is open, right?
Yes,
Interesting.
exactly.
And I know you're very passionate about a pet food initiative.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
tell us about that.
So we have started a pet food bank that will be for Quincy residents. It has both cat, dog food, and kitten and puppy food as
Right,
well.
yep.
So we just started that up. It's donation run. So if any viewers are feeling generous and they want to reach out, I have my contact information on the Animal Care webpage, and they can support the food bank or they can utilize it, whether they want to give food or they need food. We're here to do both.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fantastic, because
Yeah.
that can be cost prohibitive for some folks.
Definitely, yeah. So the idea is it's a way to help keep animals in the home instead of coming to the shelter.
Right.
So hopefully people use the service.
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
or donate to it, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah.
I also noticed when I was there, I mean, there's a pet grooming center.
Yes, yeah.
There's professional laundry mat services. So, Sandra, for the shelter's purpose,
Yeah.
it must be a tremendous upgrade.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
it's just amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, we were very grateful for Broad Street and for East Quantum Street, but
Right.
this is unmatched. I mean, we have not only are the facilities, beautifully designed.
Yeah.
We have storage space.
Yeah.
We have just a lot more opportunities than we had before to run things in a very organized fashion,
Yeah.
and all of that helps us keep down our operating costs. So we're really looking forward to doing a lot of good, and with the addition of Brett, we talk a lot about all of the things that we want to do for the community.
Yeah.
So Brett's going to be able to do a lot of the things that we tried to do for years, but we just didn't have the staff. And we both have talked a lot about the importance of having kids involved, and having kids come to the shelter. And my goal is to make the shelter like a field trip destination for kids, and to come and learn about the animals. And Brett has a lot of great ideas about having them come in and make things, school projects,
Yeah.
all of that. So, because it all animal welfare starts with children. You know, if they learn how to respect and care for animals, hopefully that will continue into their adulthood.
Yeah, well, you know, to that regard, Brett, education is a huge part of the New England Wildlife Center's mission, I know, so you'll probably bring that background here as well, right?
Definitely, yes, yeah. We did a lot of education at the center, so I'm
Yes.
excited to bring some of the same stuff to the shelter and even broader, more.
Even more, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Now, there is, I noticed there's a public space as well, kind of on the roof
Yes.
of the building. Now, what is that for?
Yeah, so we have a really great area on the roof of our new animal care center, and it's kind of an extension of the dog park, so you can...
Which is right across the way.
Yes, so
Yeah.
if you're at the Quincy Dog Park, you can make your way over to this roof. The idea is it could be shared between residents and the shelter dogs. Of course, depends on each individual dog.
Yes.
But that's the idea. It's a really beautiful space. Some benches, some pathways, so it's wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, it's an old quarry,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
You know, that was not utilized up until now.
Exactly,
So it's being
yeah.
put to use again. And actually, the sign I know out in front gives mention to the history of the quarry industry.
Yes.
Just for folks to be aware of what was there, and what it was used for, how it was
Yeah.
created, and what it's being used for now. So again, if folks are just joining us, we have Macy and Delilah.
Yes.
Which is which?
This one's Macy.
Macy's the sweet, cuddly one.
Yep, she's
Delilah
one
the
to kiss
devil.
it.
Delilah's devoured Sandra's watch.
Yep.
Getting a new watch soon. But they'll be adoptable soon, right?
Yeah.
From the, right
Yep.
from the shelter.
Yeah.
Sandra, what do you need in terms of donations, volunteers? I always like to ask
Well,
for folks.
on the volunteer front,
Yeah.
we have had an overwhelming response to new volunteers.
Everybody wants to work in the new place.
Absolutely. So we're actually going to shut it down for just a little bit so that we can process the over 80 applications that we've received in the last couple of weeks.
Really?
So yeah, we are looking to add significantly to the 125 volunteers that we already have.
Okay.
But it's going to take us a little bit to sort through everything and get everybody up and running. And so that donations, we are updating our wish list,
Okay.
but we use Purina Pro Plan for our dogs and cats, so we can, and puppies and kittens, so we can always use food,
Okay.
you know, paper towels, laundry detergent, all of that.
Okay.
But yeah, and gift cards. Gift cards are always
helpful.
great too.
Yeah. Any events coming up in the near future that we should know about?
The two big events that we're having this year is our Braintree Beer Garden Cornhole Tournament and our second annual Granite Links Golf Tournament.
Okay.
They're both in October.
Okay.
So what we're looking for right now is sponsorship.
Okay.
So there are
All right.
sponsorship opportunities for both events, and we'll have more information on that soon. But
Okay.
and golfers, we'll be looking for
Certainly,
golfers and
foursomes, yeah.
cornholers. They are two of our most successful and really fun events.
Okay.
So
All right,
hopefully
very good.
people will want to come out.
The website is the same. The phone
Yes.
number is the same.
Yep,
right?
all of that's the
That
same.
has not changed. Are you completely moved in now to the new center?
Yes, I would say 99%. Yeah, we still have to clean up some things over at 440 East Quantum Street, but
Okay.
we are at the new shelter and officially open tomorrow with our new hours.
Right,
So
starting Tuesday
people
through
can
Saturday.
come on by.
Right. Yeah, which is you have
Yeah.
I know full-time intake coordinator.
Yes.
We met her
Yes.
earlier on this
Yep.
program as well, and it was nice to see Kit Burke at the ribbon cutting.
Oh, absolutely,
the
yes.
Former president.
Yeah, Kit is still with us.
Yeah.
You know, she's not gone far at all.
Right.
I mean, she has been, you know, as far as the planning of the shelter, that started 10 years ago,
Yes.
and she's
I
been
know.
involved every step of the way.
Yeah, so
So,
it's nice to see
yeah.
she's still involved as well. And Brett, for you, what are you kind of your hopes, I guess, for the center going forward?
I am really excited and hopeful to get these training programs going, kind of basic obedience stuff for dogs, but also more office hour type stuff.
Sure.
Just trying to give residents resources to keep their pets in the home and have, you know, a well-behaved house partner with them at home instead of maybe a mischievous little puppy like Delilah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Macy, Delilah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Ask for them when you go.
Yep.
In a couple of weeks, they'll be
Yes.
up for adoption. We hope we can find them. Great forever homes. But fostering is fostering good for puppies too, Sandra, or just kittens?
Yes, yeah, these puppies will go into foster care while, before they're up for adoption.
Gotcha.
Because we want them as social as possible.
Sure.
So,
Yep.
you know,
Absolutely. All right.
we need to keep busy.
Thank you both. It's been a
Thank you.
pleasure.
Yeah, thank
Thank you for
you.
having us.
You're very welcome. Please come back and bring some more friends with you.
Thank you.
Just enough time to check the forecast for you for the rest of the day today. It's going to be gorgeous to get the dogs out for a walk or yourself as well. Lots of sunshine, kind of breezy, low 70s, mid 50s this evening. Not bad tomorrow. A few more clouds, a little cooler here at the coast with a sea breeze into the low 60s. Cloudy for most of the day Wednesday. Showers move in Wednesday night and Thursday morning, but still mild temperatures in the mid 60s, low 70s. Thanks again to Sandra Sines, Brett Hale for joining us, and also Macy and Delilah for joining us from the Quincy Animal Care Center. Thanks to our crew. Thank you for watching. Friday here in the show, we'll learn about the Family Fun Run and Wellness Expo at the Point Webster and Clifford Marshall Schools coming up later this month. Meantime, check our website, qatv.org. All of our latest programs are there. There's news and information, video on demand, live streaming, and much more. For all of us here at QATV, I'm Joe Catalano. Have a great week.